Sports with Blake.
On Dan Blake TV on YouTube. These times where health is wealth and important as ever, it's Dan Blake here from the Sports with Blake podcast, giving you a special message. It's important that you get fit with Coach Cannon Fitness, a personal trainer on another level. Make sure for all your health needs and wellness vibes, you make sure you follow and add on Instagram for all of that good stuff. Coach_Cannon_fitness on Instagram for more information. Tap in with him and it will definitely help you on your health journey. Now back to regular programming. Yes, Sports with Blake podcast. We're back. It's episode 7, another big episode. You know, Dan Blake in the house, alongside another sporting legend in the game, up and coming boxer, doing his thing, signed to big Frank Warren and the Queensbury Promotions team. The one and only Ellis Zorro in the building. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I really appreciate you coming down.
No probs.
How is everything? How you feeling today, man?
Yeah, good. Just come from training. Not scheduled to fight until February, so just ticking over at the moment. But yeah, life's good. Everything's good.
I love it. So training session today, put the work in, hard work, dedication every day.
That's it.
You know, just off the back, what is hard work and dedication to you? What does that mean?
Dedication is just like, well, hard work is obviously hard work at whatever you're doing. Obviously for me it's boxing, so like running, sparring, just the hard training, diet, and I think the dedication is just like the consistency of all of that. Does that make sense? Just living that lifestyle every day, not just doing it like once or twice a week, but like 7 days a week, 24 hours. So yeah, that's what I would say.
And I know, you know, there's many podcasts I've seen you've done online and stuff. So we're not gonna go like into the typical, like, you know, just your whole background.
Yeah,
kind of thing, 'cause
I don't mind, bro. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm there.
Still. Yeah, I see that's out there. But give me a little bit of, you know, how you got into boxing. What was the motivation for you to? Because I know you was at uni. You were saying you was knocking about at uni and you got into it. What made you really want to like actually give it a shot? Because you're studying hard.
Yeah.
Boxing,
so when I graduated, I was 21, 2014. Graduated from Brunel, and that's where I started boxing. Yeah. And I think it was just the reality that the 9 to 5 thing is proper dead. Like I had 3 amateur fights, and I think I was working 9 to 5 in HR, and the money was good and everything was calm, but it was just the lifestyle, like doing that day in, day out. I was like raw, like I didn't really think it was for me, but I felt like I needed to do that so that I can, like, now when boxing gets hard, I'm not going to look over my shoulder and think, let me go and get 9 to 5, because I've been there. You understand? And I know that's like not for me. So like in a way, when I first started boxing, it was just my motivation was to not go back to work. Yeah. If I'm honest with you, still, and I just wanted to get to that place where I'm at now, where I'm like financially, like I'm okay. Do you know what I'm trying to say? This is my job. You feel me? This is my 9 to 5, and I prefer it a lot more than having to jump on a packed train and sit in the office with people that I don't like. Like this is I guess with boxing, you can build your own empire. Like I come from other sports, but like with football, there's politics in boxing, but in football there's like politics. You pally with the manager, like, you got to rely on other people. Whereas in boxing, it's you that trains, it's you that puts in the work, and you kind of get out what you put in. So I like the fact that I can be in control of my environment in that sense, in control of my my personal career. Yeah,
freeing of the soul, right?
Say again.
Soul feels free like that.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100% still.
This is it, and your upbringing, you know, coming up, growing up. Give us a bit about that. How was your upbringing for you as a person? How were you growing up? You see yourself always as a fighter? Were you a fighting man growing up?
I had a bit of a temper coming up. Like, so everything was calm. Like, I come from a good background. I think I was maybe 10 when my family split, and I think that created some trauma in me, if that makes sense. That I'm still like, even at my age now, still like learning about, if that makes sense, or it's still expressing itself now at this age. So I carried a little bit of a temper coming up. But I weren't like necessarily a bad youth. Obviously in Lewisham, certain things happen and it's just your product of your environment, do you understand? But yeah, I wasn't like out here fighting all the time. No, but I was heavily involved in sport, like from young. Yeah.
What other sports were you involved in?
Football and athletics. So obviously everyone plays football in a way in England.
Everyone had a trowel as well. Innit?
Yeah, no, I was actually
you know the ones.
could have been a baller, you know.
On the 15s and that.
No, I played for Millwall still. I played for Millwall Academy for like 4 years. I was with the district team. I got released by Millwall, and then after that I played for Bromley for a few years, which was decent. But I feel like even though Bromley's good, it was a drop in levels from Millwall, and I just couldn't get that motivation back. I feel like everyone would say this, but I'm humble enough to be open and say, like, I feel like I got dropped because of like just politics, team politics, like not necessarily ability. Then I did a bit of track and field, mainly for my school, if that makes sense. Like in the summertime, just when it was that, when that sport was happening. So, but yeah, mainly football and athletics, and then, like I said, found boxing in uni.
See, with the athletics, was it 100 meters, 200, 400?
You know what? I was doing like all of them. I was doing 1, 2, 4x1, 4 shot. I wasn't even doing shot put still.
Shot put.
Yeah, I was raw at shot put. You know, I don't even know how. I just good, but no, it's just like a school thing. Do you know what I mean? I did train and I did enjoy it, but yeah, mainly it was just a school thing.
So you were just in a brutal war, like your last fight. On reflection, your opponent,
Dex Spellman.
Dex Spellman, yeah. Your opponent, Dex Spellman, Ellis Zorro. What a fight it was. He came for maximum violence. Big up Dylan White. I could see there was a great audience in attendance. You had all of the boxing elite, front row, ringside,
on their feet still.
Everyone's up on their seats every moment, and I felt like it was like a chess match. It was like a chess match, man, all the way through. And I feel like it was a very entertaining fight. How did you feel going into that bout, and how was it for you in there, being the man in there?
Now it's done, I can say this, but like I didn't feel like in the changing room. At that point, I've had 14 fights. Yeah. So I've been in the changing room, gone through that process 14 times. I didn't feel like as sharp or as crisp as I felt prior, if that makes sense. Especially like how I felt for the Boxer tournament in Manchester. Yeah. Like for that one, I was on point. And when I was warming up, I don't know, like you just know your body. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And even though we're professional athletes, some days you wake up, you're on job. Other days you wake up, you're just not feeling so. But it was by the time I realized it was too late. Like, what can man do? Like, I'm there, I'm in the changing room. And I kind of carried that into the fight. I feel like I started a little bit slow. And I noticed it the most, I think, in the 4th round. I dropped him in the 4th round. Yeah. And when I went to stop him, I realized that it was like taking more out of me than it was him. Like, I was tired, but I weren't like out of breath tired. I was just a little like fatigued, if that makes sense. Like I felt quite flat. And I think that's why, honestly, just in a humble way, I think that's why it was such a close fight, because I wasn't really like at my best. I wasn't at my sharpest. But I feel like it's a kind of a blessing, because all my other 14 fights where I've been stopping guys or just winning so easily, I think people saying, "Oh, has he got dog in him? Can he?" You know, these idiots, man. Like, has he got the dog in him? Can he scrap? Can he actually fight, or is he just always boxing, kind of thing? And I think I showed that, I can be in entertaining fights. You understand what I'm trying to say? Or I can dig deep, like they say. That's why I think it was an entertaining fight. But Deck, he brought it, but it was just, like it was just one of them ones. Like I knew early in the fight. Like I knew in the warm up. Like I knew, like I weren't gonna be as sharp, if that makes sense. It's just one of them ones.
Yeah, people saying that one of the rounds of the year.
You know? Yeah. I think round 7 they're saying is a round of the year.
Epic stuff, man.
And that's what I needed. So it's good.
Yeah. So what's your expectations now that fight is over? Now, how you feeling? Because I know like it's coming to the back end of the year. People may be trying to get out one more time. Or are your eyes already set on next year and your path for next year in boxing?
Yeah. I won't be fighting again this year. I'm rather going to fight the end of January or February. Anthony Yard's got a card. I've got a date, end of January. I think it's the 28th of January. Yeah. So I might be on that undercard, or I might go like early February. Expectation wise, I feel like I need to, like, it's time to start fighting for titles. I slightly should have fought for the Southern area already, but it was like that. I don't know if I should say. So I was with Steve Goodwin, a guy who does like York Hall shows,
Yeah,
shows. And when I wanted to fight, and I was with him for my first 9 fights. Then like in my 10th and 11th fight, I was trying to fight for the Southern Area title.
Okay.
And he was kind of like, he had, one of his fighters had the belt in it. And he was kind of on the thing of like, to my manager, Martin Bowers, I'm not going to let my guys fight Ellis right now. So I was like, cool. But I wanted to do it that way. I don't know if you know Dan Aziz, but he's done it.
Of course.
Southern Area, English, British. I wanted to do that, if that makes sense. But now, when the boxer opportunity come along, I went from 11 to 14-0 in one day, and now 15-0. I can't really justify, in my opinion, fighting for the Southern Area. I feel like it's a little bit of a backwards step, not just in ability, but like I need to be pushing on to fight for bigger titles. So I'd like to fight for the British, the English maybe. I think in boxing it just depends who's got what at what time.
Yeah.
If you're matched to the right opponent, a Southern Area title can be if you're in the right weight class, a Southern Area title can be a big fight. Like the light heavies, there's like so many guys, they could all fight for the English, British, and like if you're fighting for a British and you're a light heavyweight, it's the equivalent to a world title.
Yeah.
Like if Buatsi and Dan Aziz fought each other, it's like levels wise, it's the equivalent to a world title.
That's a great fight,
So yeah, I'd like to fight for a title, and I will be fighting for a title, ASAP. A lot of it, it's not that I'm in the dark, but I just leave down to my manager. I see a lot of boxers, like over the years when I'll be watching boxing, I want to do this, I want to fight this guy, I want to fight for this title. And it's not even that it's just talk, but you don't negotiate fights like that. Like, it doesn't happen like that, So there's been a little bit of back and forth with a guy called David Jameson.
Okay.
So basically, the boxer tournament before the one that I won, the one that Mikel Lawal won, he lost in the semi-final to Lawal. So he was at runner-up. But he's got what's called the IBO International. So, and he was meant to fight Dex Spellman when I did.
Saw that.
Yeah, but he hurt his hand or something like this. So I fought Dex. So obviously I beat Dex, and now me and David Jameson had a little bit of back and forth. We sparred before.
Okay.
Respectful back and forth, but I'm like, look, he's got a title. He ain't got a TV platform. I've got a TV platform. So he's looking at me thinking, raw, like, if I can get on a TV platform and defend my belt against this guy. So we'll see. But there's the English title there. I think Luke Watkins has got that. I've just heard that, unfortunately, Dion Drummond's just retired.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that. He was meant to fight Lawal for the British next week. So yeah, everything's a little bit up in the air, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's timing, isn't it? It's timing.
Basically.
How the landscape is. It's being readier. I can imagine.
Yeah.
So you possibly could be on the Anthony Yard-Bateliev card in January.
Yeah, that'll be good because I'm like from Lewisham.
Massive. It's
gonna be like in the O2. It's gonna be a big.
Oh, that'll be massive.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's probably easier to get on that card than it is getting on the Fury Chisora card.
Yeah,
Fury will put on like his little guys who he wants to put in. Do you understand? So it will make sense to fight. I think it's the O2.
Yeah,
Anthony Yard undercard.
fantastic.
So
We put that out there. We want to see
fingers
that.
crossed, man. Hopefully we can make something happen.
Yeah, that's big stuff. It's all about the platforms to shine. And talking about platforms to shine, obviously before you signed to Frank Warren and the Queensby Promotions, you won the big boxer tournament that propelled you into the limelight.
Yeah.
How did it feel just from the start of the tournament and then being crowned the winner, the change? Did you see the shift in your the energy of people towards you and how your career started to grow?
It's mad because the tournament was all in one day. Do you understand? It's not like you fight on this Saturday, then you get to take it in and people react to you and respond to that for the next 7 days, then you fight again. It was like the next and the next. So a lot of it I was seeing on social media after. Because after my bout, I'm just going back to the change room. But like going in there, I was like 11-0. No one really knew who I was like that. I was kind of like a quiet character on the media days or whatever. But I think after my first fight, I think people knew like Ellis is on job, like in the ring basically. And then when I won that, my followers are up on social media overnight. People started like hitting me up on Twitter, like mentioning me to fight this guy or that guy. So I had no negative responses basically, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, obviously, and then now being signed to Frank Warren. What's Frank Warren like as a promoter?
What a question. I still think I've had one fight under Frank. You understand? So I can't give like a detailed answer of that. I feel like it depends where you are.
Yeah.
I was already 14-0 and I had won something add weight to my name when I got there, and I'm kind of like ready to fight for title. So I think like with Frank, he's just like putting the shows on. I don't think there's much like navigating he has to do for me. Oh, let's make him fight this guy at this time, and just as much as we say timing, it's like I could basically fight anybody in my weight class if that makes sense. He hasn't got to protect me or push me on too fast or hold me back or anything like that. So yeah, Frank's cool, man. We've had good interactions, healthy ones still. Yeah,
I love that. So what's like a typical day for you when you're training in camp? You know, for the civilian, just chilling out, wondering how does he do this? How does he get in the ring and make this happen? What's the day
so
like?
let's take a Monday. So Monday we get to the gym 9:30. We warm up. If we're sparring, the warm up isn't crazy intense. It's normally like a 10-minute skip, 4-round shadow box, little shake off, little stretch or whatever. Everyone, because we're all professionals and we're all adults, like everyone kind of does their own warm up. Like certain men want to do more than others. Some guys just like to jump in there a little bit cold. I'm a little bit in between. Like I don't like to get in there cold, but I don't like to overdo it. But yeah, then we'll spar. If you're fighting, if we're doing a 10-rounder, you could do a 10-rounder if it's Monday because you've had Saturday, Sunday to kind of chill. So you might do 10 rounds of 2 or 3 guys. Our gym is kind of like open in that sense. Yeah. Like people can just come and then people could just come through the door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, slightly.
What
still.
Gym is it?
Peacock Gym.
Peacock's gym.
So
Daniel
it was kind of like the one in East London.
Yeah.
It's run by the same guys, but it's just in Essex now.
Okay.
But you see how Peacock Gym in East, you could just walk in there and see who's there.
Yeah.
It's that kind of vibe.
Okay.
But because it's on Martin's property, it's a thing where it's like you got to know him somewhere. Yeah, yeah. Whereas the East London one, you kind of just walk on from the street. Yeah. So yeah, we see who's there. And yeah, we normally do like a 10 rounds sparring with 2 or 3 different guys, or a 8 rounds or a 6, depends who's there and depends what you got coming up and when that is. And then yeah, we just hit bags and pads. It's kind of repetitive, to be honest with you. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's what that is. Just sparring basically. And then Tuesday and Thursdays at circuits or running. But it's hard for me to like, I guess, convey how difficult it is for the average person. Like it's not easy. Like we get pushed quite hard.
To the extreme.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah. Especially on Tuesday and Thursday. So a Thursday we run over at Greenwich Park. If anyone knows Greenwich Park,
I'll go jogging.
It's very hilly. You know what I mean? So like we'll do like a 3K race.
Oh yeah.
So say there's like 8 of us. Yeah. Each man goes off in 30-second intervals, and you got to catch the guy in front. If the guy behind you catches you, there's a forfeit. You feel me? It's one of them ones. So and then we sprint up the hill like a lot of times. So yeah, we do about 12K if we hit Greenwich Park. Or we run around Epping Forest where our gym is. Again, 10 to 12K. Sometimes sprints during or after. We do a lot of calisthenics, so pull-ups and chin-ups and dips and push-ups and whatnot. So yeah, that's basically a week in, week out. Yeah, it's not easy.
Do you feel like after you train, what's that endorphin where you feel like, yeah, I've done it? What's that motivation after you? Because you know some people train and they're not really into it, but after you train, do you feel a certain way? Do you feel on top of the world, even though you're tired?
Yes and no, because there's days where I don't want to train or I don't want to get pushed to where I'm getting pushed to, but I guess just out of discipline, I'm just doing it. Yeah. And yeah, it's just like it's just the routine I'm in. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't even give it personally that much thought. If it's like a hard session, like a Thursday session that I'm dreading, like a running session, I do have that thing, but I think it's more psychological as opposed to hormonal, where it's like, oh, I'm glad I've done that. I'm glad that's over. Or that's the hardest session of the week done. So yeah, so it's calm. Yeah.
Do you have like, because you're 30 now, do you see yourself like with a plan of when like you're gonna like, I'm gonna do this by this time and get here at this time?
In boxing.
Then because with boxing, I feel like people fight, and then some people don't know when to like throw in the towel. You know what it is? I feel like, I don't know, man. Or get involved in other entrepreneurial things.
Yeah, like, that's more my thing. Like, I think I want to like pay off my house.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And then once I've paid off my yard, like I should still be boxing while I've paid off my yard. Yeah. But once I've paid off my house, then it's like everything above that is the extra. I love that. You know, I feel like in life, right? Not to get too thing, but I feel like you just got to have a price. Yeah. You understand what I'm trying to say? You got to have your own price. And it's like, this is what I want to do. doesn't matter what's happening around, man. This is what I want to achieve. So me, I want to just pay off my yard. Obviously, I don't want to go back into work, so get some more properties or some safe investments, not like just investing in other random things for the sake of it. But more property, and just so that my life is set after boxing. I think the way boxing's going at the moment, since I'm on the Boxer, that could kind of come sooner rather than later. I think boxers have been getting paid quite well, I guess, since in the UK, since AJ won the Olympics, really. Like, he's brought a lot of, like, boxing is banging over here and has been since he's been about. So, they shouldn't be too difficult. By the time I'm 35, like, I'm there now, I can start having them paydays where it's like, you feel me? Like, you understand?
Nice. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Thank God.
Man, that's a blessing. And I always ask people, a future gem, being a voice for good. What's your life quote that you can share with the audience? Something that you live by.
Something that I live by, I would just say never give up, really. Despite how, like, the quote would be never give up, but despite how, like, difficult things may look, like, not even never give up, just, like, never lose hope.
That's real.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, never, like, bury your head in the sand, never be, like, in despair, if that makes sense, like, regardless of what's happening. Because I feel like there's been times, like, some things to do with boxing, other things not to do with boxing, where I could have just kind of been like, oh. And I ain't saying I've made it, but, like, where I am now, I've seen a lot of people that have hit the same obstacles that I hit, and they went another way, you understand? But it's just a thing of, like, not like I said, giving up or losing hope, and just continue to push forward,
And I was doing some research on you, and when you said you won the when you won your Boxer purse, your daughter's autistic, right? And you used that to help, her development. Yeah, man, that really hit me, man. Just having that motivation.
Yeah, maybe I should have mentioned that, to be fair. But yeah, that's a it's a weird one. When I'm in the fight, like, I want to win, and obviously I don't want to get hurt. That's my main thing. I ain't thinking about her necessarily, but, like, certain mornings I'm like, I can't bother to do this. Like, I want to provide, like, a good, comfortable life for her. Like, I still want her to know hard work and da-da-da-da. So I don't want her to be, like, silver spooned, but I just want to, you feel me? Like, as any dad would really just, like, provide for her. And with the autism there, her being, like, non-verbal, it's like, I can put her in a position where I can get the best help for her possible. So yeah, that's, like, a motivation as to why I'm boxing or why I go so hard or whatnot. 100%, man.
I love that.
Thank you.
And give me your top 3 cruiserweights of all time, bro. I know you're in that cruiserweight.
In order. I'd say, it's got to be, I don't know in what order, but I'd say obviously Evander Holyfield, David Haye, and Usyk.
Sports with Blake.
On Dan Blake TV on YouTube.
Usyk, like, I'm a big fan of Usyk still. David Haye done his thing, unified. Evander and Usyk, so I don't know in what order.
Let's have a chat about them quick, man. Like, cause I'm thinking, let me reflect on reflection here. So, boy, for me, when Holyfield and Tyson, them rockers there, serious. I think, like, Evander's done bare, I can't even lie. Like, he's fought everyone. George Foreman. What's the other guy he fought? There's another guy from Brooklyn. He was meant to fight Lennox Lewis. He was world champion. But basically, considering he's a cruiser, or he was a cruiser naturally, he fought a lot of these massive guys. The Tyson fight was a good fight. I feel like once Tyson come out of jail, though, Tyson weren't the Tyson. Yeah, he weren't Tyson. But, like, he was a massive underdog, Evander, in that fight, especially in the first one. The second was obviously crazy for obvious reasons. It's mad that you talk about this because I was watching this yesterday still. I was watching the second fight, but Evander's a warrior, man. He's a warrior. He's a warrior still. Then David Haye against was it Valuev?
That was a heavyweight, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a heavyweight.
Yeah, that was a heavyweight.
I feel like even at heavyweight, I feel like he was just like a natural cruiserweight. I don't know.
But I don't think he was exposed. And this is why I'm saying Evander, like, because see what Klitschko did to David Haye?
Yeah.
Like, just sunned him, basically. Like, just made him look like a boy. I don't know if anyone could have done that to Evander, even though he was a natural cruiser. But yeah, David Haye, Who did he beat at Cruiser? That the main one was Enzo.
Yeah.
Macanelli.
Yeah,
But
that was a big fight.
the value of Ting. Yeah.
That was fun.
I didn't. To be fair, I don't know much about value of outside of that fight.
Yeah,
so I'd never seen him. I'd never seen him fight prior or after. So I don't know how good he really was. But
he was something out of WWE, man.
Yeah.
I was like, rah.
But now that I'm boxing and I've achieved like what I've achieved, like I want to look at them, man. Like whatever they like, you feel me? Like I got to respect and rate it. So yeah, he's done his thing, man. To be a heavyweight world champion, no matter who you fought to get it, you know what I mean? So yeah.
And then Usyk, of course, like he's like a skilled. He needs to do a Strictly Come Dancing one day, mate. The way he's got that footwork. Yeah.
For someone so big, like. But I appreciate that style of boxing, like, you know, the hit and not get hit. I know it's not always the most entertaining, but it's kind of like the first thing you're taught in a boxing when you go to a boxing gym, amateur or pro, is, you know, hit and not be hit. It's your defense, and he's just, you know, people like him or the Cuban amateur boxers, like they've got that on lock. So I don't know who would beat Usyk at the moment.
Because when I watched that, you know, the fight that really kind of, I was like, right, this guy is just different. The way he applies pressure was when he fought Tony Bellew. Bellew was like on top of him, and like hitting him off with some nice work. It was like you just applying this educated pressure, and he just kept it on relentless. And then you just can't withstand anymore.
Just slapping him, innit? Just slapping him. Like, and I think it's like I noticed from more from the AJ one, but I did see it in the Bellew one. Was just like he will just have you thinking. Like, bro, like he's there, like his feet are coming in. He's not just standing in front of you, so you don't know if he's coming or going. And before you know it, you're getting popped. He don't put a massive amount into his punches. Like he don't load up. So like they don't necessarily hurt, like, but they come often. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I think he just like wears guys down with his like you say, his pace, his momentum. You feel me? So yeah.
Then we sparred with him before.
Usyk? No. Okay. No, I've not. Who's the biggest? No, I've not sparred with any of them kind of guys.
Who's the biggest person you sparred? That'd be a nice question to ask. That you can say.
I've sparred Richard Riakporhe, Vidal Riley, Dan Aziz, Craig Richards a few times. None of them like names like where I've gone abroad to spar, like say Usyk or anything like that. I sparred Mikael Lawal. I sparred guys that are like on my level or just above. I haven't sparred anyone who's like. I was meant to go to Dubai to spar Lawrence. He was asking me to come to Dubai not long ago, but that fell through. And he wanted me out there for 4 weeks, and I'm basically like the full-time dad thing. Like my daughter's mum is a teacher, so a lot of the school run, dropping off, picking up, I do that, so I can't just disappear for 4 weeks. You feel me? Which is a bit annoying, but I haven't sparred any like world level guys or world champions, if that makes sense.
What's your thoughts on the current like cruiserweight division? It's a busy one. You got Lawrence Okoly's there. You got Richard Riakporhe, Bilham-Smith. Like it's a busy division. What's your thoughts on the landscape?
I think the only one who's really set apart, I can't necessarily say from ability because I don't know, but you'd have to give it to him, is Lawrence. He's the only one who's really set apart. He's a world champion. I think he's had a defense already. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like he's kind of cleared the domestic route. He's beat the domestic guys, and he's kind of proved like domestic guys won't really call out Lawrence now because it's not like he shouldn't be where he is. You understand? So he's done his thing. Other than that, my thing on some of the other guys is, I don't know, like my opinion is different because like I think ability wise between Lawrence, Lawal, Chris Bilham, Isaac, in no order, myself, even Juma before he retired, Vidal Riley, like I think on any given night, bro, big man thing, on any given night, like I don't think anyone is necessarily better than anybody else.
Interesting.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like Sky are not necessarily like, in my opinion, promoting Vidal as highly as they can, but Vidal is a problem.
I watched the fight the other night. JME coming out, and
he's a problem. He's a problem, but it's like going back to what I was saying off camera. Like they've got him, and Sky have got him, and they've got Richard. And Richard's a problem as well, but Richard's being promoted as such. I don't really feel like Vidal is being promoted as the problem that he is, if that makes sense. That maybe some of it is not in a bad way, but some of it might be his own fault, doing the YouTube thing. People may be looking at him like, oh, he's a YouTuber. Chris Bilham-Smith's a problem. Isaac's a problem. Like, I feel like on any given night, I think Isaac's a lot better than what he's shown. I've done a lot of sparring with Isaac.
Chamberlain.
Yeah, Isaac Chamberlain. I've done a lot of sparring with Isaac. He's better than what he's shown. I don't know. Sometimes he just gets caught up in the tough man thing.
Scraps, yeah.
Yeah, when he don't really that's not your thing. Like, he doesn't need to be. Like, I think he could have outboxed Bilham-Smith. Like, Isaac's a good athlete. Yeah, someone who can, he's 14 stone. Like, his hands are fast, his feet are fast. But he wants to prove. I think where people have said he's not a puncher or he's not strong, you don't want people to push him around and stuff like this. So like, he gets pulled into them fights like what he did against Chris. But again, mad heart. Just going on the question still, like we saw Jack Massey's in there, who Richard beat, but that was a very close fight. Very, very, very close fight. Again, been a bit quiet since he's lost against Richard. But like, again, if they rematch, that could have gone either way. Lawal, I think Lawal is probably the biggest puncher. Just different kind of strength, man. And if he hits anyone, it's Christmas. He can hit anyone, and so he's still there. But again, he just ain't got the mad noise around him at the moment. So I feel like all of these fights, like that light heavyweight division, I think it's the same. Honestly, bro, to answer your question in a nutshell, like I think it's the same as light heavyweight one. It's like, I think I could fight Lawal for the British. Isaac could fight Lawal for the British. Richard could just have a 10-rounder like he did with Dion Drummer the other week. He could just have a 10-rounder with Isaac or myself or whoever. And I feel like certain men have got more experience or they've proved themselves. Like I said with Lawrence, Richard's had a few more domestic fights. So yeah, Jack Massey, Chris Bilham-Smith, Tommy McCarthy, like 10-rounders on good shows where I can't really look and say, oh, I've done that. You understand? But it's like, to look at the fights, again, ability-wise, no one is really like head and shoulders above. You understand? Whereas Tony Bellew, when he was doing it, it's like, he's kind of head and shoulders above. Usyk's, when he was cruiser, he's head and shoulders above. Whereas like right now, I don't feel like there's anyone maybe other than Lawrence who has proved just yet that they're head and shoulders above, basically. So yeah, I feel like, I was saying off camera, I feel like, say Richard, I'm not wishing this on him, but it's like, if he lost his next fight and didn't look really good, and then I won my next fight and looked really good, this is how these fights can happen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It just depends what's happening. But yeah, I feel like I'm happy that I'm in such a division at the moment. Sorry, Jordan Thompson's there as well. See, there's bare man. You feel me? And like, some of these men can really whack. Like, Lawrence can obviously punch Richard, Lawal, Jordan Thompson. Some of these men are like one-punch guys where they can change a fight around. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting, man.
Do you have aspirations to be world champion?
My honest, genuine, transparent answer is like, don't really mind. Tell you why I don't really mind, because it's like, I wasn't boxing from like 8 years old, where I watched boxing and said, I want to be like this guy holding all the belts. Do you feel me? Like, my thing was like a money thing or a career thing. Do you understand? Like, I started boxing when I was 21, 22, and I turned pro when I was 25. So I know it's against the grain to kind of say it, but it's like, then I see where it's like, these days, belts are just not really worth anything. Tyson Fury can get rid of his belts and fight AJ, who's got no belts, and they'll get a lot more money than if Usyk was to fight Fury, in my opinion. Or AJ ain't got a belt; he could fight anyone, and like him and Wilder could fight. Wilder ain't got a belt.
Nah, no belt.
It'll be mad peas, bro. Do you feel me? So it's like,
sell out stadiums.
So like, it will be a mad accomplishment, but it's like, I don't know, man. Not to be thing, but I feel a lot of boxers say, I want to be world champion, but it's like, you got different belts, bro. What do you mean? Like, what? You want to be WBC? Alright, cool. You're WBC, but then my man's WBA. So who's really champion? You feel me?
Yeah, it's not like one undisputed.
If there was like one belt, when it's like, man's actually. But if Richard wins, I don't know. If Richard wins the WBC and Lawrence has got the WBO, okay, they're both world champions, but they ain't fought each other.
Yeah, they ain't fought each other.
You feel me? So like,
fight,
so they got to fight each other to see who's the best. So it's like, these days, it's like having all these different belts and governing bodies or whatnot. It's like, I don't think it's what it used to be back in the day where everyone recognizes that, alright, cool, Like Ali is the best in the world, and there's no one that can, because he's the champion. Now there's like loads of belts, loads of different routes to get in. Like Conor Benn, for example, it's like good fighter, but I don't really. What I was saying about Richard, Conor Benn ain't really had domestic fights like that. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like a bit like Anthony Yard before he fought Lyndon Arthur. Like he was fighting Kovalev before he'd had any domestic fights. So it's like, have you even proved that you're the best in the country yet? Or like, my point is to you, bro, like there's routes in boxing that people take to like avoid, or you feel me, jumps and things and stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, yeah, for me, it's like it's more a money thing. It's just like setting up myself and my daughter to be, you know, financially stable. But I think they work hand in hand. If I keep winning, a world title will come. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not too.
Yeah. It's interesting, like when we talk like belts over belts or money, even, and it's like and marketing and social media and YouTube boxing, and it's all coming into the same realm. Mixing up, you got YouTube fights and real fights on the same card. Yeah, and I think it's creating massive numbers. Yeah,
I think that is a little bit messy for the casual fan. Yeah, like when I saw Tommy Fury, who like is caught in the middle of like being a pro, but then being a something else, and I saw him and John Fury on the weekend, like in the ring with all the other brothers. Jake Paul. I'm just like, bro, like it's banter, innit? But it's like, is it pro? Like as a casual fan, if you see Tyson Fury's whatever cousin or his dad, I think you'll be thinking, oh, this is a pro fight. You feel me? Like I've had people like come up to me and say, are you on this card? And it's a white collar card. And I'm like, my guy, come on, man. Like there's a difference. So I think it's confusing like the casual fans. Certain men have earned the right to do it, like Floyd Mayweather, he's doing it. I don't know what anyone can say to him. Like he's done it.
Yeah, he's done it, you know.
He's done enough for boxing. You can't say he's tearing it apart now because he's in the YouTube thing. But yeah, like when KSI fought Swarms, Swarms was training at our gym.
Okay.
He's using our gym still for his camp, innit? That made me laugh.
You just gave me a flashback to the fight. When he turned his back. It's when he turned his back. I just had that flashback. Big him up there, man. So, any man who can step into the ring, bless, man.
Yeah, 100, man. So he's earning more money in that than I've ever made.
Mad.
Do you feel me? So, and again, no belt. Yeah. It's like KSI. Yeah. He's earning mad piece, and he's my weight. Jake Paul's my weight. So I'm looking at these man thinking, as much as I'm knocking it, if they come to me, like I'm like, yeah, you feel me? Like bring me the piece. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's a weird time. Everyone wants to be a boxer. Everyone wants to do boxing.
Yeah, it's interesting that.
Very strange.
Like, they think it's like a fashion thing, even.
Which is, I think,
it's mad. For that,
it's
not fashion when it really goes down, is it? You know what I mean?
You know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. But I'm for people getting money for me and securing themselves and setting themselves up. But you know, yeah, that's it.
Right, interesting. And how would you see with like social media and stuff? Do you feel pressured? Like when you're training, I know it can be hard to be doing that at the same time in this climate. Do you feel, how important is that for you? And even trying to get fights by social media and people maybe trying to avoid you, or you're trying maybe calling out people. How does it?
I feel like going back to like what I said again, not even to be too deep, bro. Yeah. But I feel like in life you got to have a price. You feel me? Like there's certain things that you got to be like I won't be on Insta talking about a next man's mum. Yeah. You feel me? To make a fight. I feel like I'm selling myself out here to my principles and morals and whatnot. Like I'm not gonna do that. I might do a little thing, but I won't be doing that. Yeah. Do you feel me? Or I won't be like, because I feel like that's how people end up in madness. They just do anything for peace. Yeah. Anything from robbing a next man to armed robbery. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and it's like really, it's like because man ain't got a price. So for me, it's like there's just certain things that I won't do because I don't know. I couldn't even bring myself to do it, bro. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I do for a little bit of pressure because it's... But I don't know, like, for me, I'm 30, innit? Like, 1992, when I was in school, in my area, like, certain things are just sneaky. Yeah. So, like, I look up then and I frown on them where it's like, I couldn't do it. Like, it's sneaky. Do you know what I'm trying to say for me personally? So... But if you got to do that to get the bag, you got to find the balance. You know what I'm trying to say? So I just try to promote my boxing stuff on my social media, on Instagram and whatnot. But yeah, I'm just not really like on a thing of like. Yeah. I don't mind calling people out. Yeah. But it's the way you go about it. Do you know what I mean? Where I wouldn't, because if someone did that to me and they started talking about man's, you feel me? It'll be flying. So yeah.
All right then. Let me ask you this now. So obviously you've got 2023 coming up. In your mind, like in the cruiserweight division, you're active right now. Like a big fights that could, really propel your name. Who would you want as opponents, like, to get in the mix with right now in the division?
I'd like to fight Chris Bilham-Smith. I'd like to fight Mikael Lawal. Anyone who's really with Boxer and Sky, really, because I feel like they got a really big platform at the moment. Certain fights, I feel like we're just going in the wrong direction. Like I could easily sit here and say Lawrence, but it's just like he's not. Like this is what I'm saying about. I could make an Insta video saying I could talk a madness about Lawrence, but realistically, if me and him was to fight, the P's would be so maybe one-sided to him, because what can man bring to the negotiation table? Like what belt am I bringing? Do you understand? So it's like it might look good on Insta, but realistically, we're not really on each other's radar. The Richard one, possibly in the next year. But like I don't see it as like my next fight because of where we are. I just see something on Instagram yesterday about he's looking to fight for a world title in his next.
Yeah,
so
he's right. Yeah, they've been boosting it up.
So man that are beneath me, I'm not looking at them. I'm looking at guys above me.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting called out by, say I'm number 10 in the country, I'm getting called out by number 21. I'm not even really, I'm not really going to acknowledge it. And I feel like it works the same way with me calling out these guys. But Chris Bilham-Smith, I think the reason I like that fight, I just think it's a good fight. Do you understand? I think it's a good fight. The Mikael Lawal fight, just because he's about to fight for a British title. Does that make sense? So yeah, I want to get a British title. So if that's him, maybe Jordan Thompson, he's with DAZN. Yeah, any of these guys really, to be honest with you, any of them. So yeah.
Yeah, big stuff. And obviously we got Fury, we got Derek Chisora coming up.
What do you think of that one? Before you ask me, I'm gonna ask you. What do you think about that one?
You know what? I've got Fury.
Not even who wins, but I just mean like, what do you think of the
fight?
Like the matchup. Like, why has that happened?
Well, he needs a dancing partner. The AJ fight's gone, so it's gonna sell out. He's a man that's got a fan base. I feel like the nation's always got a bit of love for Chisora. All the boxing purists have got love for Chisora. Yeah. And I feel like one last dance, and I feel like people feel like he may have a puncher's chance as well to do it. Like, where Chisora can get a knockout at any time, and if you go light-hearted on him or don't give you it all, I think he could be lights out. He's a punch away from knocking anyone
at that
out.
weight, innit? Yeah.
So he's got heart, man. So who knows? Definitely. It's going to be a war. Yeah. War Chisora. So.
Yeah, styles make fights as well. But you're asking me what I think about who's going to win.
Yeah.
I think Fury will win. I think the Fury that we've seen since the second Wilder fight, where he's a bit more aggressive.
On the front foot,
I thought he was going to be like, I thought because styles make fights, and I thought Dylan White would really make like Fury uncomfortable. But it was like Fury just boxed when he wanted to box, but then he was still able to plant himself and punch and fight when he needed to. So like this new Fury, I'm not sure like you say, puncher's chance at the weight, but I'm not sure how Chisora will fare against him. Based off what I saw against Dylan White with Tyson Fury. So yeah.
And I feel like maybe White and Chisora, they got similar kind of styles. So do
you know what I mean? That's literally why I said that. Like, I feel like Chisora is probably a bit more front foot aggressive. Be on your chest. And maybe take a punch a bit better, to be honest. Like a little bit more durable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good fight.
In these times where health is wealth and important as ever, it's Dan Blake here from the Sports with Blake podcast, giving you a special message. It's important that you get fit with Coach Cannon Fitness, a personal trainer on another level. Make sure for all your health needs and wellness vibes, you make sure you follow and add on Instagram for all of that good stuff. Coach_Cannon_fitness on Instagram for more information. Tap in with him and it will definitely help you on your health journey. Now back to regular programming.
Also, we've got a card coming up. Dylan White Franklin.
That
Got that one
Franklin
coming
guy.
up. I don't really know too much about him.
That
though.
Franklin guy's been in our gym this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know who he
Ah,
was.
interesting.
He don't look like what I'd see on the poster.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But yeah, there's like 3 American guys in there, and they've been in there all week. But it was only today I was at to Martin. Who are they? And Denzel popped up and he's like, bro, that's the guy who's fighting Dylan White. Oh, snap. So, yeah, I mean.
You saying? How's he looking?
Yeah, I feel like it's not looking good still.
Looking good.
I thought like he was there to spar me.
Yeah.
That see what I'm telling you, that people just walk in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, he's bigger than me. He's obviously a heavyweight.
Yeah.
But like, Dylan White's a unit, man.
Dylan
White
looks
is
smaller on TV. I've never seen him in the
Dylan White's
flesh.
6'4", but he's wide and
Right,
he's thick.
wham, yeah.
Oh, bro, he's wide and he's thick. So, but because they were saying the winner of that fight will fight AJ.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But from what I've seen of the Franklin
like
guy,
it,
and it's just training, it's just pad work. I ain't seen him spar, to be fair. But yeah, I don't think he'll beat Dylan. Dylan's with a new trainer now. What's that, Buddy McGurk? So
out in America and stuff.
we'll see. I don't know how I feel about all of that, changing trainer like so often.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, then you've got on the card also you got my guy Craig Richards against Bolotniks. Fight. Shout out to the Spider coming back, but trying to get back in the rankings and that. You know,
this is where boxing is weird because like Craig has such a different style to Boatsi.
Yeah,
he's much more of a boxer.
Yeah,
than Boatsi is. And Boatsi didn't have a hard fight with Bolotniks. But there was spurts in that fight where I was like, you're in trouble.
Yeah, there was moments.
Craig could whitewash him a lot easier and quicker than Joshua did.
Yeah.
But then it's like, Josh beat Craig. So it's just like, sometimes with these fights, again, I just feel, when I see Craig up there, me and Craig go to the same church. Yeah. When I see his name up there, I'm like, bro, like, okay, I'm happy that bro's getting peas. That's my thing. Yeah. But I'm like, all right, cool. If he wins this, like, I don't know what, and it's not my business to know, but I don't know what that opens for him, what opens up for him next. But he's going to get peas. It's a good show. But again, it's like, the way the fight happened with Boatsi, I don't know what you think. I think Craig could have like got a rematch ASAP.
Yeah, if he called for it though.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He should have shouted it out though.
But it's just like, is it realistic? Because like I said, even though they're like neck and neck, Boatsi's looking to Bivol and these man, he's not trying to come back or...
But I feel like that's when like, I feel like with this, that's why the social media thing. Yeah, I feel like that if Craig was to immediately straight after that fight bark for the rematch, the pressure from the fans was like.
You think that, but then it's like, managers and promoters have an agenda.
Yeah, it's true.
And I've learned that since being with Martin Bowers.
Yeah.
Social media is powerful, but I feel like unless you're big on social media like Jake Paul and these man, I'm not sure. Because everyone in the UK would rather see, money aside or money involved, because they're still going to get peace, would rather see Boatsi and Craig go again.
Yeah,
over Boatsi fighting Bivol. But Boatsi will turn it down because he'd rather fight for a world title. Because like we said earlier, the accomplishment thing, probably get a little bit more money maybe to fight Bivol. And it's like, you know, you got Canelo floating around at that weight class. It's like he'd much rather pursue that kind of that way. So I get it, but I just don't know. Like, Craig will beat Bolotniks.
KO?
Yeah. I think he will still. But then I'm like, okay. Yeah, but then, we'll see. I think he doesn't need to take that fight to earn a rematch against Boatsi. Yeah. If that's what they're trying to... If that's what managers and that are trying to do, I'm not sure. Because he could beat Bolotniks, knock him out, and then he's got to go and fight, Dan Aziz.
Yeah, true. He's already gone.
And then it's like, Craig's looking at them, man. Yeah. It's just like, you see what I'm saying? About he's looking at Dan thinking, I'll probably never fight Dan in my career because he's done the domestic thing.
He's done the domestic thing.
He's borderline world level now. He's fought against Bivol. You could just beat Canelo. You can't be fighting. And Dan Aziz is my guy, trust me. But it's like, I get why Craig might not be trying to fight him or just even acknowledging him. Because like, he's done domestic. Timing was timing. Fought against Bivol, gave Bivol a good fight.
Now Bivol's pound for pound now.
And then Bivol just gone and fought Canelo and beat him. So, it's one of them ones, man. But again, like, I know that he'll get paid well. Yeah. And that's just, at the end of the day, trust me, that's what it's about. Like,
legacy, and security,
man.
And being in great fights.
Sometimes, like, it's very, very rare that man have both. like Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, they've retired with both.
Yeah.
Roy Jones, like, best fighter ever, bro. Like, in my opinion, like Roy Jones Jr. But by the time he retired, his legacy was hammered.
Yeah.
You feel me? So yeah, we'll see, man.
It's interesting they asked Mayweather about belts or money, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm cool with the money, you know. I'm cool with the paydays, basically, you know."
He's got so many belts, it don't even mean anything to him.
Yeah, he was saying. And just the last few questions now. So, what would be your best boxing punch? What's your best boxing punch or combination? Something you can share?
I'd probably say mine.
Yeah.
Probably say the left foot to the body.
Left foot to the body.
I've stopped like a good amount of guys with that one in fights, in sparring. I just went through a phase, I remember, of watching Canelo throw left foots to the body on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, like, just like watching. And Mike McCallum used to do it a lot, watching. And then when I started going to the gym, it's not even that I was consciously trying to practice it. Yeah. It's just a shot I started to throw a lot of. I got good leverage on it. And, I've dropped a few guys with that. So, left
Love
to the body.
And a quick cardio tip for the people.
Oh, damn. I would say sprints on the track, 400 meters or 800 meters, minute off. Just keep repeating as much as you can. Yeah, that will get you the fittest, the quickest. Not necessarily the long running on the road.
Yeah, I feel you. And I know I know we got World Cup coming up, man.
Oh, bro.
So what we saying for the World Cup?
I have to miss me with the football team, you know. I don't even watch football like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know no players or nothing. Some childhood trauma. When Millwall got rid of me, that's it. I stopped watching football, man.
You was done.
Yeah.
So you following any other sports on your downtime away from
No,
boxing?
not really, man. Like I feel I struggled to. Like some of my friends, like they watch UFC, MMA, and boxing, and they're like hardcore, all of it, and football. And I'm like, I don't know how man them keep. I can just about keep up with the boxing.
Yeah.
So no, not really, man. Not really. Just boxing, man.
Just boxing.
Yeah.
So, do you watch women's boxing? Because obviously we had Clarissa Shields against Savannah Marshall. That was a big fight.
I kind of watch it because sometimes they're mixing. Most times they're mixing cards, but I think that card was the card where it was like all.
Oh, that was amazing, man.
I wasn't there, but I did see it. Clarissa Shields is hard still. Yeah. She's a good boxer. I hadn't seen much of her prior, but I watched that one and I felt her. She was good still. Yeah.
So apart from the cruiserweight division, you say you enjoy. What other divisions do you enjoy watching?
To watch, I think welterweight to middleweight. There's always something going on domestically, or like with Spence when Floyd was there. Floyd had good guys. Errol Spence, Crawford, Sean Porter, all them kind of guys. Obviously Conor Ben's floating about, but domestically probably the light heavyweight division. Like I just think there's a few fights that we just got to see. Dan versus Yard, or Yard versus Craig, or Craig Yard versus Dan. That we just need to see all these fights. Ibuatsi as well. Like, I'd like to see all them fights because there's a lot of. I couldn't pick them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Couldn't really pick them. So
Anyway, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, man. No, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it, man. Chopping it up about boxing, it's good.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Sports with Blake. It's episode 7. It's the one and only Ellis Zorro. Make sure you look out for more from him, man.
That's it.
Peace out.
Appreciate it.
Sports with Blake.
On Dan Blake TV on YouTube.
Dan meets sports fanatics and some of the biggest sports entertainment stars